Hey guys, how y'all doing? So, I'm back on another vlog. Happy Australia Day, by the way. Though it is technically a bit late, this episode. So, I did do an Australia Day vlog, and then apparently so I did it when I was driving back from some really cool stuff, which I'll talk about in a sec. Um, and my phone overheated because, it's Australia and it's stupidly hot because that's what Australia does on Australia Day, obviously. So, yes, hence why you're now getting a take two coming through today. Anyway, of course, it's been about a week. Yes, hello, Austin. I have my boys again. This is a good start. Um, yes, hello, hello. Um, yes, see, there's a cat ear there. Oh, yes, yes. Um, yes, okay. So last episode, I was driving down, and I was heading down south. Ended up overnighting in Port Macquarie and catching up with a friend down there. Um, and that was a really cool sort of instance where I really sort of saw how open the tri community can be. So, caught up with a friend of mine, who's a mutual friend from April's, and we caught up and we chatted. We had dinner, and I happened to mention that look, I was supposed to have a run on my program for the next day, sort of break things up. And so she's like, "Oh, that's cool. There's a running club that she's usually part of that goes the next morning." So she invited me along. So it was great. So I could actually sort of still do some training with. I got to meet an amazing group of people and train with a great, very welcoming group of runners and triathletes, which was a lot of fun. Um, and yeah, it was kind of cool, kind of different. Didn't realize they were doing hill repeats, so that was kind of brutal. But anyway, so yes, tap, tap, tap. Hello, hello, darling. Austin is tapping me for attention. Anyway, I don't know if you've all seen that GIF, but that GIF of where the cat's going to the human. Yeah, that's Austin. Austin does that a lot for me. Anyway, so I did that Tuesday morning before I finished my drive down. Arrived in Newcastle on Tuesday. Of course, my place wasn't ready yet. Wasn't ready till Thursday, so ended up crashing with a friend just to for a couple of days while I was waiting on my place to get ready. But yeah, so sort of it's just trying to establish myself and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, Thursday comes around and I get the keys to my place, and the removalists sort of came around with their thing and dropped everything off and put everything here. So currently I am surrounded by boxes because I'm still trying to work my way through. I've got most of my kitchen sorted. Still living out of a suitcase in terms of clothing though at the moment, though sort of starting to sort of use the washing machine and sort of put everything out slowly but surely. But on the Thursday when I got the keys, it was all very finely choreographed. Really, is that I got the keys to the place at 8:30 in the morning. Guys, the removalists dropped by at they were supposed to come by at 9:30, so they got here at 9. So I was trying to meet them here, so I didn't get finished done with the paperwork till 9. So I got here, removalists all here ready to bring everything in. So they're bringing everything inside, get everything set up. Gas, electricity, mate, and everything was turned on. Started doing a little bit of unpacking, didn't get much done because then at 5:30 I had to be at the airport to pick up my boys who were jet setting their way down to Newcastle. So because they've been in a cattery, sort of in a holding area up in Brisbane for a week, it really was hard to sleep, sort of and sort of freaking out a little bit when how I was missing them for a while. That few days, last couple of days, I was in my old place before I finally moved out. So yeah, anyway, that was it. So I moved in Thursday and then sort of straight back into the office Friday, because still got to keep working. So still trying to sort of slowly work through boxes as I go. Trying to do it at least one a day to get through and sort everything out. Hopefully it shouldn't be too long. So you just running around getting the last minute stuff. I didn't have the cable to hook in the TV to get the TV antenna to get TV reception. Because I'm used to just having the news there, and then there was an issue with internet and stuff because it's a fiber optic estate, fiber to the home. It's great, but there's supposed to be a data port somewhere inside the house. I cannot for the life of me find it, and the estate agent has no idea either. I'm like, well, that's a great deal of help. So I'm trying to have to like juggle this thing out of the fibre box in the garage, which I'm not happy about. But anyway, so anyway, but that's sort of neither here nor there. But it's just me grumbling at the moment. But I'm still getting decent speeds. But otherwise, yeah, sort of here, sort of trying to settle in. But on Saturday, which was actually Australia Day, so yesterday, um, one of the traditional things that happens with a lot of councils in Australia is, I think every council in Australia, maybe there's some controversy, maybe there's a couple of councils that no longer do it, I don't know. Anyway, where they do citizenship ceremonies, so people who are becoming Australian citizens can choose to become Australian citizen on Australia Day. So they sort of, take the oath of the affirmation of allegiance, and that kind of stuff. And it's all a very big celebration of sort of all the cultures that form part of Australia. Not going to get into the political conversation about that right now. Anyway, so what I was doing is I invited you to come along to. So there's also, okay, so I'm sort of getting ahead of myself here. So also, I was asked to come along to a park run, which is Saturday mornings. Now, a lot of park runs on Australia Day, if Australia Day falls on Saturday, get cancelled because they often share locations with where, Australia Day celebrations happen. So a lot of park runs get cancelled. This one, however, one of the ones near me, because unfortunately there's none really, really close, but one of the ones near me is the Terrace Park Run at Raymond Terrace. And they actually sort of work with the council, and they actually end up being part of the sort of festivities for Australia Day, which is kind of cool. This is kind of neat and kind of cool. So I was asked to if I want to meet up with, for those who might follow me on Instagram, might know, see someone I follow and comment with a lot, with banter back and forth with, which is Trudy Tryron. She is a amazing triathlete who I also met over at the World Championships in South Africa last year. Anyway, so she also said that one of the people that she trains with was becoming an Australian citizen that day at that venue. So, and they were going along with the park run as well. So we're all going to do park run. We'll do park run together in the morning, and then we watched as the Obsessed Runner, with another Instagram guy, Matt, became an Australian citizen, which I was really, really humbled and really, really excited that I was invited to share that experience and welcome him to become one of the family. But it was a really, really good day, like a good sort of start to the day. We're going to be able to got our exercise, got our 5K done as part of the park run, and then to actually sort of share and be part of that celebration of celebrating Australia Day and the unity that it does bring, sort of National Day. So, and I don't know if it's the same in America. If 4th of July is a holiday in America, I don't know if it is or not, but here in Australia it definitely is. And if it happens to fall on a weekend, you still get a public holiday. So we get a public holiday on Monday. Hello, Austin. Yes, you can definitely tell that he's fine. So when they jumping back to when the cats arrived. So when I picked him up at the airport, they were most disgruntled. They were most disgruntled when I picked them up. Bane was at the back of his travel cage, like, you're like, F you human, I'm done. I don't want a bar of you, just go away. This one was kind of a little bit more active. However, he had a bit of an accident when he was in transit, so we had to have a bath, didn't we? Yes. So I was not the favourite human for a while, but I think they're settling in okay now. Still sort of, I don't think I'm going to be killed in my sleep. Haven't been forgiven, but I no longer think I'm going to be killed in my sleep anymore, which is a good start. So, yes, Austin, yes, you're very handsome, and yes, you're going to be on the YouTubes. So yeah, anyway, but fast forward back to Saturday. So Saturday, as I said, so I did park run in the morning. Then went to do a swim. Originally, it was supposed to be a 3K swim, and I've talked about this before with diabetes, how there's like the little things that happen that can really frustrate you and whatever. So, because I was invited to come along to like a celebration lunch afterwards, everybody getting together, and so got to meet some of the locals and stuff like that, which is I'm really grateful to Trudy and Matt and Steve, and to be able to invite me along to that. Anyways, but before that, I sort of said, well, I've got to go do my got like a 3K swim to do. Like, yeah, it's fine. We've got plenty of time. We're going to do that. Anyway, I rock up at the pool. Yep, cool, fine. So I find a local pool, rock up with my gear. Yep, cool, no worries, go to change. And I don't have a cap for my cannula. So then I'm faced with the choice of going, okay, well, I pay my money for a swim. Do I rip the cannula out? It's okay. Well, do I just burn the money that I've just spent on the swim, go back, find a cannula cap? By the time I've done that, then it's kind of like, because the pool is not exactly close. I'm like, well, then I might as well just go to lunch because I'm just going to give up on the swim. Or do I rip the cannula out and have to go back home and change it before going to lunch? And it was kind of a bit frustrating but annoying. I looked at it. I was just the cannula would have needed changing anyway before lunch or during lunch. So I was like, well, I'll just cut my losses and I'll rip it out. I'll shorten the swim set and then go and replace it before going off to lunch. So it was just one of those frustrating moments where again it was just a 5 second things where I hadn't put it. I thought I put it in the bag, but I didn't. It meant that it's just annoying, really annoying. So. I know I've talked about it before, but once as I said, it's like a hidden cost, a hidden frustration as a diabetic that a lot of people don't see and I don't think about, and even sometimes diabetics don't think about it either. So that was a little frustrating, but still managed to go off and have a really nice lunch down at the Prince Wharf Hotel with a few other celebrate Australia with a few other people, some locals. Because my original plan had been to do, there's an open water swim in Newcastle every Australia Day, where you sort of swim across part of the entrance to the Hastings, I think it's the Hastings River, I think. So you sort of swim across the entrance of that, which is sort of serves the entrance to the port. Swim across the entrance to that between sort of Newcastle and Stockton, and you can swim there and back. So I had originally planned on doing that. But I ended up missing the cut for the race entries and whatever, and I was like, well, okay, I've missed that, so I ended up doing this parkrun run, so like, that's fine, I did that. But then we got talking, so apparently there's then on the day after, so on the Sunday, so today, on this morning, there was a different open water swim, which was a 2K point-to-point open water swim, going from Nobby's Beach down to Newcastle, so down to sort of like Newcastle Beach. And I'm like, okay, all right, I'll head along to that. So Trudy and Matt were both heading along to that. So I'm like, oh, sure, why not? I'll go along for that. Why not? Something different. And that was I'm glad I went. It was a bit of a challenge swim. I was a lot slower than I wanted. Well, maybe it was. I don't know. But I need to practice my open water side because it was quite rough. Like the sea was quite rough. So definitely very challenging conditions. What made it more frustrating, however, was the fact that it's organised partially with Newcastle's Surf Lifesaving Club. Daddy's doing a vlog. Daddy's doing a vlog. See this? See this? This is what I have to deal with. Anyway, so it's partially organised with Newcastle Surf Lifesaving Club, and they sort of do they put the boys out, the market boys, the sight boys, and they shepherd the competitors to make sure that nobody goes too far off course or whatever. But it just seemed that, and look, I don't want to say anything too bad about what these guys do because I've known many surf lifesavers. I know that the job that they do is incredibly hard. They're almost all volunteers. The surf lifesaving is all volunteers or 99% volunteers, and they do amazing work and they save lives as we do. But I don't know what it was about today, but today was just messed up. They were not exactly doing a very good job of shepherding people. I mean, I ended up shoving off a good 150, 200 meters off course before, realizing, I'm being dragged out the wrong way with the current, so I need to turn back in. And which is kind of my own fault, and that's fine. I'm a strong enough swimmer that it's not a huge deal. But now I was back of the pack, but there was still, a good 30, 40 people at least behind me. It's probably only a couple of hundred doing it. But there was it's probably about 300, 250, 300 people doing it. But there was a good 30, 40 people behind me at least. Now, by the time I came in, was coming close to the beach, the sight buoys were being pulled into shore. So I had no idea where I was going, and there was a couple of lifesavers on sort of paddleboards and a dinghy, but it's like they're sort of there and then they're not there, and I'm like, guys, this is dangerous. You can't be pulling sight buoys in when people are out there swimming, because that's dangerous for a start. Like, what the hell? So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was the conditions, because it was very windy, it was very choppy, so maybe it had something to do with the. Maybe there's something that I don't know, because the boys were being, at one point from somebody who was on the shore said that one of the boys was being dragged. A bit of trying to reposition it, but they actually physically pulled buoys in. The last turn buoy, the second last turn buoy was, or the last final turn buoy where you turn right to go straight into shore. That was completely gone. That was pulled in. That was on the beach before I finished. And then the last one, the last sight buoy to bring you into on the straight to bring you into the finish line, that was bobbing around all over the place, and we were getting dumped. A good 50, 60 meters from the finishing chute, like from the beach, part of the beach where the finishing chute was. So it was just kind of like, not sure what happened. So, and I'm not an expert, I don't know, but it was just kind of like, but either way, you can't be pulling sight buoys in. It's particularly like, like for people who are unfamiliar with the course, to be honest, like me. So that was a little scary, a little nerve-wracking towards the end of the swim, but still reasonable time, not my best, not my worst, but in those kind of conditions, pretty happy though, which means that I feel a lot more comfortable, because I feel like, from what I've heard, that Traverse City apparently is going to be maybe choppy, particularly if it's windy. So that gives me a lot more confidence that I can work with sort of heavy chop and rough sea and rough water, so I feel better about that. So anyway, there you go. But otherwise, it was a great swim, and again, great chance to sort of meet a few locals, and just enjoy and welcome them to my surrounds. I'm supposed to have done a 3-hour ride today. I kind of blew that off. Coach will not be happy with me, but anyway, so other than that, my blood sugars have been good, which is nice. I did a couple of weird things on Australia Day, but they've been good for me today. I did, however, though, I made a rookie mistake when I did my swim, though, yesterday. So, as I said before, I had to shorten my swim, and probably a good thing I did, too, because I put sunscreen on my arms, but I didn't put sunscreen on my back. And, of course, when you're doing laps in a pool in just a pair of jammers, what's the biggest area of skin that's exposed? Oh, yeah, that's your back. My back is a little bit sunburned. Not like disgustingly so, but it is a little tender when I'm in the shower, that's for sure. So, yes, rookie mistake on my side anyway. But otherwise, there you go. So, slowly settling in, slowly getting rid of some boxes, moving stuff around, and getting stuff settled in. And yeah, thanks for joining in. Yeah, as I said, sorry, because as I said, I really enjoyed I did a really good vlog. It was in like the car when I was driving. When I was heading, it's not everything that happened actually when I'd done this vlog yesterday for Australia Day. I was on my way to the pool, so that part hadn't happened yet. But yeah, it was in the car. But so what happened was, is that I was in the car, and because it's so hot, the phone was sort of in the holder up on the windshield. It just went overheated, and then, which normally sort of is okay, I sort of give a few minutes, it cools down, but it actually corrupted the file, so I actually lost the actual vlog, which was really, really sucked. But anyway, so there you go. Alright, apparently I need to give my cat pats. Hello. Mwah. Anyway, so thanks for joining me, guys. Have fun, as I said, so slowly settling in. Hopefully we'll see some more vlogs coming around soon, and I will catch you guys soon. Okay, bye! Say bye, Austin. Bye! Bye, guys!